The balance of global military power is a conversation that never truly ends, it only evolves. Today that evolution takes us to the skies over China, where two new shapes have entered the ring. Stealth aircraft, shrouded in secrecy and whispered about in hushed tones for months, are no longer rumors. They're real, they're here, and the world is watching. On December 26, 2024, China did something few saw coming. They revealed not one but two previously unknown stealth aircraft in test flights over populated areas. These weren't just quick flybys either. These were deliberate displays of advanced technology, meant to showcase China's growing military might. The message was clear. China is here, they're capable, and they're not slowing down. But what do these new aircraft actually mean for the global balance of power? Are we on the cusp of a new era of aerial combat, or is this just carefully orchestrated hype? Today we're diving deep into China's new stealth jets to find out if they're game changers, or just another bluff in an increasingly high-stakes game. It's not every day that a nation unveils brand new military hardware, let alone two at once, but that's exactly what China did on December 26, 2024. These weren't your run-of-the-mill aircraft reveals either. They didn't wheel them out in a hangar for a photo shoot. Instead, they sent them soaring over populated areas, making sure the world knew exactly what they were up to. Both aircraft were captured on video by civilians on the ground, and the footage spread like wildfire across the internet. The grainy images and videos, often taken from unusual angles, only added to the intrigue. What were these mysterious new aircraft, and what did they say about China's ambitions? The first aircraft, a sleek, tailless delta wing design, immediately drew comparisons to the United States' own fleet of advanced stealth aircraft, like the B-2 Spirit and the upcoming B-21 Raider. While significantly smaller than its American counterparts, the new Chinese aircraft's angular design and lack of vertical stabilizers screamed stealth to anyone familiar with modern military aviation. The second aircraft, while less visually striking than the tailless Delta, was no less intriguing. This twin-engine, flying-wing design bore a resemblance to some of the unmanned aircraft concepts being explored by the United States, suggesting that China may be making strides in the field of drone warfare as well. The fact that both aircraft were seen flying suggests that they are at least at a relatively advanced stage of development. After all, China is notoriously secretive about its military programs, so the decision to publicly fly these aircraft, even in testing, speaks volumes about their confidence in the technology. The timing of the reveal, just days after Christmas, was likely no coincidence either. With much of the world focused on holidays, China may have been hoping to minimize the immediate international reaction. However, the move seems to have backfired, as the surprise reveal has only served to heighten global interest and speculation. These reveals mark a pivotal moment in the ongoing narrative of military power, raising more questions than answers. What are these aircraft specifically designed to do? How do they stack up against existing American and allied technologies? And perhaps most importantly, what do they tell us about China's long-term strategic goals? Let's break down what we know, or at least what we can reasonably speculate about, starting with the tailless delta wing aircraft, which has been tentatively dubbed the J-36 by defense analysts. This thing is a puzzle wrapped in an enigma, and everyone from armchair analysts to the Pentagon wants to know what makes it tick. First off, the J-36 is not a small aircraft. While not as massive as the American B-2 Spirit, it's considerably larger than the J-20, China's current top-tier stealth fighter. This suggests a few possibilities. One is that the J-36 is intended to be a long-range strike aircraft, capable of penetrating enemy defenses and delivering heavy payloads deep behind enemy lines. Think of it as China's answer to the B-21 Raider, a platform designed to make even the most well-defended targets sweat. Another possibility is that the J-36 is intended to be a multi-role fighter, capable of both air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. This would make it a more versatile platform than a dedicated bomber, able to go toe-to-toe with enemy fighters while also holding ground targets at risk. Adding fuel to the speculative fire is the J-36's rumored 3-engine configuration. While most modern fighters stick to 1 or 2 engines, the J-36 appears to be packing an extra power plant. This could give it the extra oomph needed to lug around a heavier payload or achieve greater range, further hinting at its potential role as a long-range strike or multi-role platform. The tailless Delta design itself is a fascinating choice as it offers some inherent advantages for a stealth aircraft. By eliminating the vertical stabilizers or tail fins, the J-36 presents a much smaller radar cross-section from certain angles, making it harder to detect by enemy radar. However, this design choice comes with its own set of challenges. Tailless aircraft can be inherently unstable, requiring sophisticated fly-by-wire systems to maintain control. These systems, while impressive feats of engineering, add complexity and potential points of failure. Despite the unknowns, the J-36's very existence is a testament to China's growing aerospace capabilities. They've clearly been hard at work, pushing the boundaries of stealth technology, and the J-36 is a physical manifestation of that effort. Now, let's turn our attention to the second aircraft, the twin-engine flying wing design that has some analysts scratching their heads. Unlike the J-36, which has drawn comparisons to existing aircraft, this drone is a bit of a wildcard. The most striking feature of this aircraft is its shape. The flying wing design, while not entirely new, is relatively uncommon in military aviation. This design prioritizes aerodynamic efficiency and a low radar cross-section, but it can be inherently unstable, requiring advanced flight control systems. What makes this aircraft even more interesting is that it appears to be unmanned. While we can't say for certain without official confirmation, the lack of a visible cockpit and the aircraft's overall size suggests that this is likely a drone. If this is indeed an unmanned aircraft, it opens up a whole new can of worms. Unmanned combat air vehicles, or UCAVs, are a rapidly developing field in military technology, and China appears to be throwing its hat into the ring. The potential advantages of UCAVs are numerous. They can be designed to be smaller and stealthier than manned aircraft, making them more difficult to detect and target. They can also stay aloft for longer periods, loiter over battlefields, and even be programmed to carry out autonomous missions. The fact that China is developing a stealthy flying wing drone suggests that they're looking beyond traditional fighter jets and bombers. They're exploring new and potentially game-changing ways to project power and dominate the skies. Of course, we don't know the exact purpose of this drone. It could be designed for reconnaissance, gathering intelligence deep behind enemy lines without risking a pilot. It could be armed, capable of delivering precision strikes from afar. Or, it could be something else entirely, a platform for testing even more advanced technologies. The emergence of this drone adds another layer of complexity to China's growing air power. It's a clear sign that they're not simply playing catch-up with the United States. They're actively seeking to leapfrog existing capabilities and carve out their own niche in the future of warfare. One of the most talked about aspects of China's new aircraft is their stealth capabilities. Both the J-36 and the flying wing drone incorporate design elements specifically intended to minimize their radar signatures, making them harder to detect and track by enemy radar systems. Stealth technology is all about reducing an aircraft's radar cross-section, or RCS, which is a measure of how detectable an object is by radar. The smaller the RCS, the harder it is for radar to see the aircraft. Both the J-36's tailless delta design and the drone's flying wing configuration are inherently conducive to a low RCS. These designs minimize the number of sharp angles and protrusions that can reflect radar waves, effectively making the aircraft less visible to enemy sensors. In addition to their shapes, China's new aircraft likely incorporate radar-absorbent materials, or RAM, in their construction. RAM is a special type of material that absorbs radar waves, further reducing the aircraft's RCS. The implications of these stealth capabilities are significant. Stealth aircraft have the potential to reshape the battlefield by giving one side a distinct advantage in situational awareness and first-strike capability. Imagine a scenario where a fleet of stealthy J-36s, undetected by enemy radar, can penetrate deep into enemy airspace, taking out critical infrastructure and air defenses before the enemy even knows what hit them. This is the kind of game-changing potential that stealth technology offers. However, it's important to note that stealth is not an invisibility cloak. While it can significantly reduce an aircraft's detectability, it doesn't make it completely invisible. Modern radar systems, particularly those operating at lower frequencies, are becoming increasingly adept at detecting even stealthy aircraft. Moreover, stealth technology is not a one-time investment. It requires constant research, development, and adaptation to stay ahead of evolving radar technologies. While stealth technology is certainly a force multiplier, it's not a silver bullet. It's just one piece of a much larger puzzle when it comes to achieving air superiority. As China continues to advance its stealth technology, questions arise about whether these developments could be a precursor to a larger conflict, possibly even World War III. The United States, with its own advanced stealth capabilities, will undoubtedly be watching closely and preparing to counter any potential threats. The stakes are high, and the world is watching to see how these technological advancements will shape the future of air combat and global security. The unveiling of China's new stealth aircraft is more than just a technological showcase. It's a strategic move with far-reaching implications for the regional and global balance of power. To understand the significance of these aircraft, we need to look beyond their technical specifications and delve into China's broader strategic objectives. China's military modernization program is driven by a desire to secure its interests in the region and establish itself as a leading global power. A key part of this strategy involves challenging the United States' long-standing military dominance, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region. For decades, the United States has enjoyed unchallenged air superiority in most theaters of operation. American aircraft carriers, backed by a vast network of bases and advanced fighter jets, have projected power across the globe. China's new stealth aircraft are a direct challenge to this dominance. By developing aircraft with advanced stealth capabilities, longer ranges, and potentially greater payloads, China is signaling its intention to contest the skies in any future conflict. The J-36, with its potential as a long-range strike aircraft, could pose a credible threat to American assets in the Pacific, including aircraft carriers and bases. The flying wing drone, with its potential for reconnaissance and strike missions, could further complicate the picture for American forces operating in the region. These developments are particularly concerning for Taiwan, which relies heavily on the United States for its defense. China has made no secret of its desire to reunify Taiwan with the mainland by force if necessary. The development of advanced stealth aircraft gives China more options in a potential conflict over Taiwan. It could use these aircraft to try to neutralize Taiwan's defenses, paving the way for a ground invasion. However, it's important to note that military power is about more than just hardware. The United States still maintains a significant edge in terms of training, experience, and systems integration. China's new aircraft are impressive technological achievements, but it remains to be seen how they will perform in a real-world conflict. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the eagle in the sky. How do China's new stealth aircraft stack up against the United States' own next-generation fighters? The United States has been at the forefront of stealth technology for decades, and its latest fighter jets, the F-35 Lightning II and the upcoming Next-Generation Air Dominance, or NGAD platform, are testaments to its technological prowess. The F-35, while not without its critics, is a highly capable multi-role fighter with advanced stealth capabilities, sensor fusion, and networking capabilities. It's designed to be the backbone of the U.S. Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps for decades to come. The NGAD program, shrouded in even more secrecy than usual, is developing a family of systems that will replace the F-22 Raptor as the U.S.'s premier air superiority fighter. Details are scarce, but the NGAD platform is expected to incorporate cutting-edge technologies, including artificial intelligence, directed energy weapons, and potentially even hypersonic capabilities. So, where does China's J-36 fit into this picture? On paper, the J-36 appears to be designed to fulfill a similar role to the American B-21 Raider, as a long-range strike platform capable of penetrating enemy defenses and delivering heavy payloads. However, it's important to note that the J-36 is still in its early testing stages. It will likely be several years before it enters service, if it ever does. In the meantime, the United States will continue to refine its own stealth aircraft and develop even more advanced technologies. The flying wing drone is a bit of a wild card. The United States is also investing heavily in drone technology, but it's unclear how China's drone compares to American counterparts in terms of capabilities and performance. In terms of raw technology, China is still playing catch-up. The United States has a significant head start in stealth technology, sensor fusion, and other key areas. However, China is rapidly closing the gap, and its new aircraft are a clear indication that it's a force to be reckoned with. The real question is not whether China can match American technology, but whether it can match American experience, training, and doctrine. The United States has decades of experience operating and maintaining advanced fighter jets, and its pilots are among the best trained in the world. China still has a long way to go to catch up in these areas. However, its rapid military modernization and its willingness to invest heavily in new technologies should not be underestimated. Chapter 7. Separating Fact from Fiction. The challenges of assessing early-stage military tech. When it comes to analyzing emerging military technologies, it's important to temper our excitement with a healthy dose of skepticism. The truth is, we're dealing with a lot of unknowns and assumptions when it comes to China's new aircraft. For starters, we don't even know the official designations of these aircraft. The J-36 moniker is purely speculative, based on China's existing naming conventions for its fighter jets. For all we know, this aircraft could be intended for a completely different role, such as a high-speed reconnaissance platform, or even an electronic warfare aircraft. The same goes for the flying wing drone. Without official confirmation from China, we can only speculate about its purpose, capabilities, and intended role in China's military strategy. It's also worth considering that these aircraft might not even be intended for mass production. They could be experimental platforms, designed to test out new technologies and concepts before being incorporated into future aircraft designs. China has a history of developing and testing multiple prototypes before settling on a final design. The J-20, for example, went through a lengthy development process with several different iterations before entering service. It's entirely possible that the J-36 and the flying wing drone are simply stepping stones on the path to even more advanced aircraft. Another factor to consider is the potential for disinformation. China is notoriously secretive about its military programs, and it has a history of using propaganda and misinformation to mislead its adversaries. It's possible that some of the information circulating about these aircraft is intentionally misleading, designed to exaggerate China's capabilities or sow confusion among its rivals. In short, it's important to avoid jumping to conclusions based on limited information. We need to be patient, gather more data, and analyze the situation carefully before making any definitive judgments about the capabilities and intentions behind China's new stealth aircraft. So the big question on everyone's mind is, should the United States be worried? The short answer is yes, but not panicked. While China's new stealth aircraft are undoubtedly a significant development, they don't represent an immediate existential threat to the United States or its allies. At least not yet. The United States still maintains a significant military advantage over China in several key areas. First and foremost, the U.S. military has decades of experience in developing, deploying, and operating advanced stealth aircraft. This experience has given the U.S. a deep understanding of stealth technology, its limitations, and how to counter it. Secondly, the United States has a vast network of allies and partners around the world, many of whom are also investing in advanced military technologies. This network provides the U.S. with a strategic depth and a logistical advantage that China cannot match. Thirdly, the U.S. military benefits from a culture of innovation and a robust defense industrial base that is constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. From directed energy weapons to hypersonic missiles, the U.S. is investing heavily in technologies that could maintain its military edge for decades to come. However, it would be a mistake to underestimate China's determination or its ability to close the gap. China is investing heavily in its military, and it is making rapid progress in key areas like stealth technology, artificial intelligence, and hypersonic weapons. The United States cannot afford to rest on its laurels. It needs to continue to invest in its own military capabilities, strengthen its alliances, and adapt to the changing nature of warfare. The era of unchallenged American military dominance is over. The United States needs to be prepared for a future where it will face increasingly capable and determined competitors like China. China's new stealth aircraft are a wake-up call for the United States. They serve as a stark reminder that the global balance of power is shifting, and that the U.S. can no longer take its military dominance for granted. For decades, the U.S. has enjoyed a relatively unchallenged position as the world's leading military power. This dominance has allowed the U.S. to project power around the globe, deter aggression, and shape the international order to its liking. However, this era is coming to an end. China's rise as a global power, coupled with its rapid military modernization, is challenging the U.S.'s long-standing supremacy. China is no longer content to play second fiddle to the United States. It has ambitions of its own, and it is building the military capabilities to achieve them. The United States needs to adapt to this new reality. It can no longer afford to assume that it will always have the technological edge or the military might to prevail in any conflict. It needs to be smarter, more agile, and more innovative than ever before. This means investing in next-generation technologies like hypersonic weapons, directed energy weapons, and artificial intelligence. It means strengthening alliances and partnerships with countries that share U.S. values and interests. And it means developing new operational concepts and doctrines that are tailored to the challenges of 21st century warfare. The United States has faced down challenges before, and it has always emerged stronger. But this time is different. The stakes are higher, the competition is fiercer, and the margin for error is smaller. The unveiling of China's new stealth aircraft is more than just a regional concern. It's a global game-changer. It signifies a fundamental shift in the balance of air power, one with implications that extend far beyond the skies over the Pacific. For decades, the United States has reigned supreme in the realm of military aviation. Its fighter jets, bombers, and reconnaissance aircraft have projected power and influence across the globe, shaping the outcome of conflicts and influencing the course of history. But that era of unchallenged dominance is drawing to a close. China's new stealth aircraft are a tangible manifestation of its ambition to challenge the existing world order and reshape it in its own image. They represent a concerted effort to level the playing field, to develop the capabilities needed to counter American air power and assert Chinese dominance in the region and beyond. This shift in the balance of power has profound implications for global security and stability. As China's military capabilities grow, so too does its ability to project power, influence events far from its borders, and challenge the interests of the United States and its allies. The potential flashpoints are numerous and well documented: the Taiwan Strait, the South China Sea, the East China Sea, and even beyond the Asia-Pacific region. China's growing assertiveness, coupled with its expanding military might, raises the specter of conflict in these and other regions, conflicts that could easily escalate and draw in other major powers. The world is entering a new and uncertain era, one defined by great power competition and the ever-present risk of conflict. In this environment, the ability to project power and defend one's interests from the air will be more critical than ever before. The emergence of China's new stealth aircraft is a sobering reminder that the future of air power is anything but certain. It's a complex, evolving landscape, and staying informed is crucial. For in-depth analysis and ongoing coverage of this and other critical defense stories, be sure to visit our news. We're your go-to source for understanding the evolving world of military technology and its impact on global security. As we've explored in this video, the stakes are incredibly high. China's advancements should serve as a call to action for continued investment in cutting-edge technologies and strategic partnerships. The United States and its allies cannot afford to fall behind in this rapidly evolving technological arms race. What are your thoughts on China's new stealth aircraft? Do you think they pose a significant threat to the US and its allies? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos about the most important defense stories from around the world.